some of the new activities of the program, I mean, to the sub-program for the MJAA this year? And do we have some new of the improvement for the program for the MJAA this year? But before that, yes, you give me the answer, I want to shout out to David. David is my mentor during the COVID. I learned lots of things from the family team and from the David. I still remember David told me, to be a good CEO, at first you have to be a good CFO. You need to how to control your costs. It is very, the work is very straightforward. But if we looking back to lots of even this the rising startup, but they failed, it usually breaks the law because you didn't control your finance, didn't control your cash flows, and things like that. So after I graduated from the program, I deeply remember this word. Yes, this is a big takeaway. Yes, if you have something, I know, the MJAA mentorship program is already mature and lots of the pioneers in the different industry from the American Asians joined our program. And if we have something new, this kind of activities, yes, you can mention about it. Yeah, the new sub-program. But if
go ahead.
Yeah, but if not, actually, another question for your three guys is, in the driving this kind of a community, yes, what kind of challenge you confront with? Yes, we run in the NGO. We need the volunteer contributing about it. But yes, on your side, how to motivate this kind of volunteer to join, because actually everybody has a family, lots of stuff and lots of pressure from the work, how to balance this kind of thing and the step-by-step to improvements our community. Yeah. Do you have some this kind of the lessons or other data point to share with me? Because I also, to join the TGO family, I also want to learn how to improve myself, improve the TGO. Yeah. Hi, Jibin. Yeah, you go first.
Yes, I can have some. Yeah, that's very good question, because all the NGO are operated by volunteers, right? The volunteers, you don't pay them, and they have family issues. They sometimes they have very random issues that they cannot spend time on some of the events or projects. So yeah, I think that the lesson I learned is that before you actually talk to the volunteers, ask them to do something, you have to totally, as a leader, you need to know the process, understand all the details, minor details, and then you delegate those people, volunteers, if they are new to the organization, if you know what to do, and also if they are very capable volunteers, then you give more freedom to the volunteers. For example, right now, our CASPA has more than 100 volunteers, and some of them are actually senior directors from some big companies. And some of them are they hold Stanford MBA or Wharton MBA degrees. We have 6 board members who has Wharton MBA degrees. Some of them are very experienced. So it's you need to really understand their experience, their expectations, to actually delegate work to different volunteers. And also, communication skills are very important. So since everybody are volunteers, so we need to be very to the point for the communication, and also the efficiency, execution. So it's like working on a startup. You need to make sure it executes very well. So, and that's lead by the example. But if you, as a leader, you don't know what to do, sometimes they will also get frustrated, or they don't know what's the purpose of the event, how to operate the event. But fortunately, our CASPA organization has 33 years of experience. We have so many former presidents and former executive leaders in our community. We can always find help from the organization. Yeah. So yeah, that's my lesson to how to motivate the volunteers to do good work.
Yeah, I think I'm going to add to this. I was like, working or volunteering with nonprofit organization, I think is a really good way for people to develop leadership skills, right? When you talk about mentorship and how to get promoted into, manager, director roles, um, working and volunteering at a nonprofit organization is a good way to gain some of that experience. We talk very often about, leadership without authority, right? I was like, in a nonprofit organization, we are leading a team of other volunteers, but, unlike a career where they are, your employees will listen to you because they are getting a paycheck, right? In a nonprofit organizations, if you don't treat your employees well, or sorry, if you don't treat your volunteers well, then they will just quit and leave. And so when you talk about a lot about just like, how do you also help them in their career growth and their, personal growth so that they're interested in giving their time and in volunteering, just beyond helping the organization meet its goals.
Yeah, it's building the team, actually building the culture. Yeah.
Yes. And I think you hit it there, right there, Junwei, about building a culture within the organization. And I think for us at what I've seen at MJAA, I see the care from both not only the mentors, but also the other members of the community who were mentees and really wanting to help each other grow, right? And there's a sense of seeing the value of paying it forward. We get to experience this learning, and it's not something we should just keep to ourselves, right? We should pay it forward and spread the learnings to other people. And in that generosity, we get a lot of people who want to be involved to pay it forward. And as Michael was saying, is a great opportunity to put into practice the leadership skills that we're learning. That's why I decided to come back, and initially was volunteering to chair a women's leadership summit, which was a new endeavor that the MJAA program started 4 years ago. And it was one of the most fantastic experiences for me because I had a small team and we were putting together this half-day event, but it was like start to finish, getting the themes, finding speakers, getting the marketing, so many different skills we were putting into creating this event. And what I loved about it was that, I got to lead in a way that I hadn't actually really had the experience to lead in my regular job, because we were all so passionate about this one project, and people, I was able to find what their interests and skills were, just like what Sabine was saying, really understanding the volunteers' motivation and then allowing them to take on those roles, the tasks that they are able to then put into practice those skills and interests. And then when they run into issues, my job was to help them, work through it or be a point of escalation. So my style is really to try to understand the individuals very well, to understand what they then would be best suited for in terms of the activity, and then empowering them to be able to take on that task, owning what they're doing. And then if things, for whatever reason, don't go as planned, I'm there as like, kind of the safety net to see, okay, how are we going to work through it? And I think that's something I learned kind of through MJAA, and importantly, I'm getting to practice as we lead this, current year's program. And I think for a lot of individuals, as they think about volunteering, yes, everyone's time is, of course, very, very important, and it's quite tight nowadays. And that's where we, as an organization, it's good to find different types of opportunities where some people could, only put in 1 hour a month. There's probably something they could still do to contribute versus someone who can put in, 10 hours. And so it's a matter of really understanding the people's motivation, their being very clear to them what the role entails, and seeing from them very clearly what their bandwidth is, and then making sure, constant communication, as Jibin was saying, is also very key, just to make sure everyone is trusting each other, that if something happens, because things always happen, you have someone who can come in and, and help you. And so that's, I've seen, and I've worked on a lot in different nonprofit groups outside of MJAA too. And I think that's what I've seen, where we're able to keep like a steady group of people to lead the organization. And always important to get new people in as you continue to, cycle through, because the session planning is always, honestly, that's really the hard part, right? Especially with the top leaders. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for story, guys. You share this kind of the understanding about how to run and how to improve the organization, especially in the American NGO. And I will use Mandarin to summarize what we said a little bit for CASPA and MJAA. And after that, give me about maybe extra 3 minutes, and we can talk about the last question, especially for the Julia and Michael, about the second generation, the immigrants, how to grow our career in American. 就是我稍微总结一下，然后肖博士是华美半导体，然后呢，黄博士和 Michael 是这一届的 Chair 和是这一届的 Vice Chair 和 Chair， 关于这个 MJAA 领导力社区的，然后 MJAA 更多的是一个泛亚裔的，一个大家在一起 get together， 然后互相去 train leadership 的一个组织。这个 session 呢，每次可能会有6个月、半年的时间，然后小伙伴们有来自大陆的，有来自台湾的，有新加坡的，印度尼西亚的，以及可能是菲律宾的 global general 的亚裔的，我们去传了这么一个 community。然后呢，应该是最近这个阶段，我们又开始下一期的新的 session 的 recruiting 欢迎这个小伙伴们去参加。然后我知道肖博士的这个华美肯定也是每年都会有新的 member 去申请去参加。然后这一次呢，我邀请3位，更多的也是 TGO 和这个 MJAA 也和这个 CASPA 华美，我们去 make friends， to know each other， 互相去串门。In future， 我们会有在湾区或者在西海岸有更多的互相的这个互动。这一次呢，其实是我们 set up 这个 coffee chat 的一个主要的目的 to know each other, to build the trust, and we actually also can have this kind of communication and this kind of a channel or pipeline. Yeah.